Hello and welcome to Audio Adventures. This is a D&D 5th edition podcast that is made by friends, with friends, and for friends. And if you clicked on us, buckle up. It's going to be a crazy magic carpet ride for you and me. This podcast is used by my nerdy friends and I to escape our lives for a time and act out some pretty ridiculous scenarios. And we are so glad to have you here. A couple things before we start. Our group loves the rule of cool, so I'm sure we will get rules wrong. So if we do, please feel free to tell us in a kind fashion down in the comments. Also, if you want to contribute to the fantastical world of Seblos where this campaign takes place, please make a comment and you may be seeing that kobold cleric in the very near future, along with your name in the show as well. Now, please grab a seat and some popcorn, and let's meet our Wandering Vanguard. Audio Adventures is a D&D 5th edition homebrewed podcast and may deal with triggering themes at times. Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warnings can be found in the description.
Previously on the Wandering Vanguard.
Natural 20. I rolled a natural 20. Well, it's a 19. It's 19. I have a negative 1, but I rolled a natural 20.
Are you sure?
Ta-da.
No, I trust you. That's not what I'm asking you about. Are you sure?
Are you sure that I want to keep pushing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just holler out, Tomb, do you care if I push deeper?
Keep going.
Okay. After I hear keep going, I push through.
Push through and you hear and you look up and you see a crack start to form in this blue energy. And it shatters. Silence falls over as Tomb and Tibril, you both hear whispers. And you, ever since you had that emblem emblazoned on your body, they stopped. But ever since Tibril just broke whatever he broke,
I try to reach Tibril and I tell him to leave because it's too dangerous.
Whispers, several voices filtering through. Break, tear, kill. You hear in the faint distance what could be Tomb, but you have no idea what he is saying, what is happening. These voices are overwhelming you.
I'm just gonna keep repeating the same thing, just like just get out, it's dangerous. Stop. And just repeat that.
You're hearing these voices swirl around your head, and they're overwhelming your senses and making you unable to move and unable to hear Tomb, and Tomb not knowing what to do, and these voices that he hasn't heard in months just start filtering back into his head.
Oh, shit. No.
That is where we begin. From that, we're going to cut back upstairs.
Oh no. Oh no.
Now, is it upstairs, or is it the upstairs?
It is.
Fourth floor, right?
We're gonna cut to Tibril and Emma, and we're gonna let you work on your stuff for a little bit longer.
Oh no. Oh no. Emma, we've made poor life decisions.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You all were in the process of linking together, communicating, comforting each other from the information you just learned of Scrynet. Of what is happening? What is happening in this world? And your plane, this plane, other planes. The planes are all out of whack. And as Tibril was wandering around Tomb's soul, you saw a swirling vortex of red and black energy with cracked metal all around it on one end of Tomb's soul.
Oh no.
You couldn't quite get to it, but with an impressive roll, you cracked through the shield. Everything seems to stop. And then dissonant whispers start to fill your head. Several voices, not quite discerning what they're saying at this exact moment, but you get the gist. Kill. Death. Destroy.
Oh, this is bad.
Can you both make wisdom saving throws for me?
Oh, gosh.
Sure can.
There we go.
I gotta remember which one's a good die. I think it's this one. Alrighty. Oh,
Okay.
come on.
Here we go.
Just like I gotta turn my light on. I can't see it. Ah, there we go. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Oof, that's not bad. That's not bad.
What'd you roll, Emma?
I rolled 22.
18.
Oh. Now we just gotta see how much we needed.
Yeah. I feel like if any of us failed, it would be me.
So, the both of you shocked to you recognize these whispers and brace yourself, but your vision goes black anyway. Tibril, you are overwhelmed instantly, and both of your visions just go black. Tibril.
Mm-hmm.
After a long while of what feels like your body's drifting, the dissonant whispers seem to leave you alone, which is comforting. If it weren't that they were there at all to begin with. But you feel your body sort of set down into an upright sitting position.
Mm-hmm.
And as your vision returns to your eyes, it's a scene that you really have never experienced before. And actually, let me get different music for this.
I was like, music stopped right at the perfect time. I was like,
I know.
oh no. I was like, oh shit. Oh no.
Here we go.
So, okay. Scene I'm not used to, never seen before. Crisscrossed, sitting on my butt. Okay, I'm holding on. Emma, I
Better
just want
clench yourself, Peter.
I am very much clenching right now. This is the most tense thing in D&D I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, I agree.
This is going to either end really well or really bad. There's no in between. There's no in between.
There's no in between.
None in between at all.
Oh gosh.
Emma, are you shaking too?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
A very familiar voice filters into your senses. That of your mom.
Oh no.
And the sounds of clinking and a fire and a hearth in the background, filling your senses with warmth and comfort. As your mom says, here you go, son. And you look up to see a very familiar sort of soup that she served you right before you left home being poured into your bowl with a ladle. And you look up and you see the familiar form of Diane Darrow, except healthy, smiling, and very, very happy. Looking up at you. Well, eat it before it gets cold, silly.
What? Where am I?
What, son, what are you talking about? You're home.
I wasn't, though. I wasn't.
Oh, well, that's true. You were just at Aramon's, for your shift, and you just got home, but... You're at dinner.
Oh my gosh, this is... So...
Well, hold on. Let me get my food, and we can sit down and have a chat. And she pours her own food, and she moves swiftly with strong arms, strong legs, no hitched breathing. You look around at the environment around you. It is your house, except a little more extravagant than you remember. The furniture is made of very finely handcrafted wood, and it seems like your house might have been added to. And you look outside the window and it seems to be sunset. And as you look back, your mom is just sitting down in front of you. Well, tell me how it went. Yesterday you said that Aramond had some big news, and I think he chose you to take over the apothecary, didn't he?
Mom, have you ever had that feeling that you've made a huge mistake?
Well, I mean, if you don't have those feelings every once in a while, are you really living and learning? Yes.
No, like this one... You were...
I was what, silly?
You were... I remember talking to you just a few days ago. You were very sick. Sounded like you were dying.
Oh, that you're talking about my little health scare. Oh, it is. Don't you worry. I got over it. You healed me.
I was working on getting the cure last time, remember?
Sweetie, you healed me. I'm healed. Look at this. And she gestures to her. I'm 100% again. And in fact, you actually helped me open up my own tavern again.
I don't remember any of
Tankard
this.
and board. We run it when you don't have your shift.
Ekman? What'd you say?
Ekman?
I'm sorry, I thought you said Ekman.
No. Who's Ekman?
A friend I've made on some travels. You'll like him.
Yes, you must bring him home sometime.
I've been traveling. What is going on?
Yes, you did say that you were traveling with some friends, but they had to split off and finish their own adventures, and you came home and you're here again.
Can I make an Arcana check on the whole area I'm in?
Sure.
Does it give you the vibe that it's magical?
I rolled a 17.
You get the vibe that your mom's magical power seems to have come back. That
Does it feel like So nothing of this feels wrong, besides just not knowing what happened.
It's a tip of the tongue moment that you cannot quite place. This is your house. That is your mom. She's gotten better. But this hasn't happened yet, or this...
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. At this point, Tibril, he just starts. Tears are coming out of his face. Like,
Diane gets up. Sweetie! She runs over to the opposite side of the table and side hugs you and looks over at you in your eyes. Sweetie, what's wrong?
I'm just so happy you're better.
And she smiles.
I don't know what happened in the past. What happened? I was just talking to my friend Tomb just moments ago. I don't remember anything that's happened. If anything's happened, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna lean over on her as she's hugging me.
She hugs you tighter. Sweetie, you did it. You won. You achieved what you were going to achieve when you left the house. And for that, I'm so grateful and so proud of you.
Wait, no, I didn't. I needed to find Dad.
Your dad is off. We don't need him.
I guess.
What? He's been gone for how many years, and we've survived.
I'm gonna look. Yeah, you're right. Am I wearing the same clothes that I was when I was talking to Tomb?
No, you are wearing you're wearing your normal sort of clothes that you wore at home. It's just a simple white shirt. You look over at like a white tunic, long sleeve. You look over the door. You see like a vest that you would wear to make sure it didn't get on yourself hung up. But you also don't see the cape anywhere.
Oh, why Tibril have to die when I left to go to the bathroom?
Everything. It feels so weird. I never thought the day would come where everything is done.
Sweetie, the journeys often wrap up much faster than ever expected. You can be beginning one journey and it's the end of another, and when you go through that journey far quicker than I thought you would.
I guess, yeah.
Although, still too far, still too slow, because I never wanted you to leave in the first place, but...
You're right about that one. I'm gonna turn and hug hug Diane.
She hugs you back fiercely. She hugs you back pretty fiercely, and you smell the familiar smell of your mother, and feel the tightness of her arms around you. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
$15.
And this continues on for a long time, and you feel great. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it should have ended, and you did it.
I'm just gonna keep hugging her for a little bit.
She continues to hug, and you guys hug for a long, long while.
Mom, I think I'm gonna go out for a walk for a little bit. I'll be back.
Oh. Well, don't be out too long, dear. You know that the goblins and the hobgoblins in the area like to attack at weird times.
Don't worry, I can take care of myself.
I know you can.
I'm gonna get up and walk out the door.
You get up, you walk out into the cold, brisk night. And that's what we'll cut over to Tombs. Tomb.
Yeah.
Emma, we made a bad decision.
Yeah, we did.
We made a really bad decision.
This is bad.
Emma, Tomb, I mean, you also, a very similar sort of feeling of weightlessness envelops you. And you don't know which way's up, which way's down, left or right. And suddenly, you feel yourself set on your feet. And you hear a very familiar, rough and gravelly voice welcome you. Hey, Tomb, what are you doing over there? And as you look up and their senses come back, you're back in a very familiar hut. And you look down and you see red desert land on the floor of this hut. Can you care to describe what your master looks like?
Oh gosh. So I kind of picture him to have black scales like Vez does. Hence where like my black skeleton in my arm came from. I picture him in kind of like a nomadic type robe. Carrying a long staff kind of like Gandalf. And then he's wielding the necromancy book that I now have. And I kind of picture his eyes to be like kind of like a pale blue like mine. And he has maybe a couple scars on his face and on his arms. But he's not wearing any shoes. Yeah. And he's Dragonborn, obviously.
Yeah. You look up and look around to a very familiar sight of your master's hut on Chanbu. And you look down and you see that the usual sight of your right hand being metallic, but when you look over to your left, you see a very similar sight. You don't remember your other arm also being metallic, instead of the wood one that you've grown accustomed to. When you look up your left arm, your cherry blossoms are gone, and your arm is completely metal. When you look down, your body seems to have been repaired. Completely.
Oh, wow.
And your master is up there, just testing, reading over the book, doing a different spell, failing some of them, and just scrapping it and starting a different thing.
And after a couple seconds, your master looks back. Hey, Tomb, what are you doing? Come on! You know you're better at this than I am at this point.
Oh gosh. I kind of look at him, still confused as to where I am. And I hold on, I gotta think for a second. I take out my notebook or reach for it. Is it there?
You start to reach for your notebook in the place where you're used to reaching for it, and it is not there.
Oh.
Your master turns around. Are you gonna say something?
I stare at him for a second, confused knowing that I can't talk. And I kind of I go to speak, and I want to say, what do you mean? But does it actually come out?
You hear, instead of the screeching you're usually used to and have grown accustomed to, you hear a very smooth voice come out. Just as you intended.
That's new.
What do you mean, what do I mean? Are you gonna come here and help, or... Come on, bud!
I walk over to him.
You see he has several sort of different experiment parts lying around. It seems that he's just... For the level of necromancy you know your master can handle, this is just child's play. He's just having some fun. And he's like, alright, so you know, you got your frog there. I know that, but I want to try bringing back a frog like you did that one time. That was pretty cool. So, I got my own frog. Walk me through how you did it. And he pushes it over to you. And he crosses his arms and gives you like a smirk.
I actually totally forgot about my frog until just now.
The little frog is on your shoulder jumping, doing the little tumble thing it does.
Oh gosh. So I guess... Okay, I guess first, what's on the table in front of me other than the frog?
You got several sort of you got the components, to do such a thing. So you got several sort of, roots. You got, crushed up, pieces of gems. You have, sort of small little, globules of liquid and other various sort of glass containers filling up with other sort of pieces of animal, other liquids that you know very much what they are.
Okay. I kind of... Yeah, because I think my frog's name was Tinker. Right? Yeah, that's right. I take him off my shoulder and put him on the table in front of me as kind of a reference. And I just start by going through the ingredients and kind of measuring out how much I would know to use. And then I just start mixing them and compiling them and adding them to the frog, and I don't know how else I would describe it, but just I kind of get in the zone for a little bit, and I'm just doing it as if it's just a reflex.
And you notice that your hands are moving faster than you remember them moving as you're grabbing the roots, the drops of blood, the pieces of flesh, the bone dust, and sprinkling them all around this frog. And you, much quicker than you remember bringing back Tinker, you roll your hands and your green light emanates much brighter than you think it does. And this frog sits up and lets out a large...
That was a fun sound.
And right about this time, you hear like a little voice coming behind you. Tomb!
I turn around.
You see a small little black dragonborn girl run into the hut. You said you were gonna play with us today!
Still not used to my voice. I kind of nod a few times and I kind of look at my master and like, not used to speaking, I kind of look at him for a little bit, expecting for him to understand that, like, I'm saying, can I go? But I'm realizing that he's just staring back at me and not understanding what I'm doing. I'll just say, can I go?
Looks at you. Oh, what are you asking me for? You were my student a couple years ago, but we're equals now. I'll see you later.
I nod and then follow the girl out. And, like, still, like, as that happens, I kind of am looking around at the village, trying to see if I can find something that doesn't seem right.
Make a... You want to... In what way? Perception or Arcana or...
Arcana.
Okay, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
And as you're doing that, I'll describe what you see. You exit the hut, and the Chanbu you're so used to seeing has transformed into a much more modern city. This seemingly has been advanced. In a 14? Okay. Mm-hmm. You see that these houses are now more or less made out of brick instead of just mud and thatch. It seems that they have advanced to making brick houses. And you look off into the distance and you also see a sort of like light green grass on the ground that welcomes your feet. And sort of other vegetation that just expands out throughout. And you look at in the distance, the other tribes that used to be there have all also advanced. And there is just a jumble of more activity and boats over in the harbor way off to the other side of the island. This is a different Chanbu than the one that you've come to know. Less hostile, more approachable, more livable. And you see the very familiar sort of black dragonborn clan that you knew and loved for several years, wandering about. Every face you're looking at, you could have sworn died. Looking back at you and smiling and waving, "Hi, Tomb!"
I like awkwardly wave back.
And they kind of giggle. And after you wave back, you roll a history check.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
You remember thinking that your last-ditch effort to save everyone in this village went awry. But wait, no, it didn't go awry. That was just a nightmare. You brought everyone back. And they're here, and you're hailed as a hero now. You found your home. You never had to leave.
When I think about that, as if like me not bringing them back was just a dream, I feel like that's like something's off when I feel that way. I feel like that there's something off that I don't remember it being that way. But like would I with the history check and stuff, would I be convinced that everything worked out, or would I have that like feeling in the back of my mind that like it didn't actually turn out this way?
With your history check, something's not sitting right. But this is the time. This is how it should have ended. This is what happened. The other one was just a nightmare you had when you powered down or something. Because nothing could have happened like that. That's terrible.
Do I have to make like a persuasion check on myself to try and make me not believe that?
It would be a wisdom saving throw.
Can I try that? Or is there a way I can learn more about why I have that off feeling?
It's not necessarily an off feeling. It's just it's like that moment. It's not necessarily like this is wrong.
Right.
It's like you had a bad dream.
It was just a bad dream.
You think you're forgetting something, but it's not important.
Okay.
And the little dragonborn girl is like, Tomb, so we're gonna play football today, right?
I shake my head.
Yay! And she leads you around this village to a field. And it looks like when she said football, she meant like the European football that was soccer.
Got it.
To you. And it looks like they made a ball out of sort of like clay and dirt and just other sort of, and like packed grass around it to make it softer to kick.
It's pretty talented.
Oh yeah. And there are just there are several other dragonborn children who will cheer when you walk up. Whoa, Tom, you're here! And if you want to give me a wisdom saving throw, you can.
I guess my first thought would be, question is, do I remember Vez?
Vezerin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Prince of Janbu.
Okay. 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 So it's not like I went back in time, it's more like an alternative ending where everything went okay.
Him and his mom, he took over the leadership of Chanbu, and he had some pretty revolutionary ideas. And it seems to be working out pretty well. He's working pretty closely with the druids in the mountains, and he's establishing relation with the world and making you guys a nation, effectively. You kind of helped babysit him a couple times.
I guess, I'd probably go along with the children and play with them for a little while. But ultimately, I'd want to try and find Vez if I can.
Alright. You know, he would be, at the sort of like, not the elder house, because that would be where his parents are at, but like the sort of like the mayoral house of this tribe.
Okay.
You walk up and there's a small sort of brick-laden sort of hut that looks to be a little bit bigger than the other ones, but not too much.
Okay. probably go out and knock on the door if there is a door. There is a door, right?
Yeah, there's a small wooden door. You're going and there's a second. Oh, hello? Come on in.
I go in.
You walk in and you see Vezerin, the large black dragonborn that you know, with a golden armband on one of his arms, and a red dragonborn in the corner, wings and all, and a red dragonborn in the corner, sitting down, weaving a basket out of dried plant. And he looks up and turns, and with wide arms spread open, "Ah, Tomb! Nice to see you. What have you come by for, my friend?"
One second, I'm writing something down. I guess as a broad statement, I'd probably ask him if he remembers our party members. I guess first I should ask, do I remember my party members? Like, did all that still happen?
With your unnatural 20 or natural 20 from before?
Yeah, unnatural 20.
Unnatural. So your dirty 20. You remember figures in your dream that you considered allies, maybe even friends. But it's kind of like how a dream, when you wake up, you're quickly forgetting what happened or what was in the dream. You remember that there were figures that you considered close.
But I don't remember their names.
Nope. Actually, you remember one, the closest to you, Tibril. And Perthy, actually, sorry. But he's kind of gone.
Yeah. Does Vez Saint Peter? Does Vez remember, like, because I would probably ask him, do you know who Perthy and Tibril are?
I can't say that I have, friend. Are these dragonborn that are causing you problems on the island?
I shake my head no.
Not half dragons either?
No.
Alright, that's good. I can't seem to remember who it is you're talking about.
I kind of think for a little bit, and I like look at him, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, thank you for your time. I must be going, and I'll see you later.
Well, yes.
And I just kind of get up and like politely, like, I don't know, bow or like something.
Well, no need to bow to me, friend, but I'll see you later. I'll see you tonight for supper, for dinner.
Yeah.
Kind of raises his eyebrow at you.
I walk out. Do I have a hut of my own?
Yeah, you would know that you share a hut with your master.
Okay. I am gonna go back to that hut and like scour the place for my journal.
Roll a investigation check, please.
25.
You scour high and low. And you find a journal.
Okay, I flip through it.
You open it up. You see the beginning writings of your first days here on Chanbu. Very familiar to you. I woke up, I don't know how to write, I don't know how to read. Said something like, well, you would know how to write, but I don't know how to read. Like, do this, I don't know how to talk, is actually what I meant. And those beginning pages are familiar to you because you still have your wooden arm. You woke up all banged up. But as the journal progresses, it's talking of how you're learning magic from this Dragonborn. He's a great guy. He's actually teaching you how to speak. Which is a little hard because it's a little scratchy, but as Vezeran's dad is conducting more and more meetings with the entirety of Chanbu to get them used to the idea of possibly talking with the outside world more and more keeps coming in, and it just goes through and it talks of, my arm was fixed today, my voice box was fixed today, I'm teaching the children magic now, I can talk, I am a respected member of this community, I really feel like I'm home. About 8 years worth of journal notes go from the beginning of not knowing how to talk or do magic to this is where I am now.
Okay.
Something about this journal doesn't quite sit right, though.
Yeah, no. Is there any blank pages?
There's a couple in the end. It seems that you were running out of paper.
Do I have enough pages to, like, try and draw Tibril and Perthy and any other party members, or at least as much as I know or remember?
Roll a sleight of hand, and we'll keep your history from before.
Okay. Oof. 11.
Drawing's not your specialty. You really tried to master the arcane.
Darn it.
And you feel your you feel your movements from before are just faster and more sure, and it feels really good to do magic. But man, drawing is not your specialty. At least right now. Which is also actually weird, now that you think of it.
Right, because...
You feel like you drew a lot somehow before. Wait, what's happening? Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
11.
Okay. You feel the day go on, and Tibril, can you make another wisdom saving throw for me one more time?
Peter!
19. Great. The endings of these visions are completely different for the two of you. Tibril, as you exit the door of this house and you feel the cold air hit your lungs, something starts to feel like it shatters. And you're now again in a black room as you feel the scent of your mom just whisk away and her home cooking whisk away. And Tomb, you just feel a soft, friendly voice into your head. For Tibril, this voice is louder, angrier. And it speaks to Tibril first. You could have everything you ever wanted. Your father, your mother, your mother's health could be restored. Family restored. Conflicting feelings gone. And there is a hand that comes out of the darkness, just holding itself out to you. Take my hand.
May I ask who I'm speaking to?
A friend. Your savior, even.
I'm sorry, I've never been one to take the easy way out.
Are you sure? You could have everything you ever wanted. I could help you get that.
I think I'll do this the old-fashioned way.
And the hand slowly closes. All right, if you insist. And for Tomb, is understanding what you wish. Accept your destiny, T-05. You will understand your true purpose. Your memory. That little experiment with your family could work. You could have it all. You could have the friendship. You could have the love of your friends, the family, the feelings, the power. And a similar hand comes out from seemingly nowhere.
Oh man.
Take my hand. You could have what you want.
As this is all happening, Tomb's kind of thinking in his head. And he's recognizing that all he's ever wanted is to know where he was from. And who he is, and like who made him, and what his purpose is, and everything. So for a split second, his hand kind of moves, like starts to move towards hers. And then he stops and remembers all of the times where his friends, or who he now calls friends, had to like explain things to him of like how the world works and how what life is. And he starts to recognize that his life is precious, but not because he was made, but because he has friends now. And so he lowers his hand, refusing hers, recognizing that he already has the love of his friends, or the love of the people who are important to him.
Do you know what you're doing?
I nod.
You're going to lose it all if you don't accept me. I'm trying to help. You could know. Your memory could be restored. You could have these friends. Just take my hand.
I shake my head no again.
Why do you wait?
Can I still speak at this point?
Yeah, you can still speak.
Okay. When she asks me that, I look at her and I say, because I already have what I want. And then I say like something cheesy, like, and they're waiting for me or whatever.
You don't understand what you're doing. And the hand starts to grow like long and pointy fingernails, and the whole room around you just glows red, and everything goes black.
And that was this episode of Audio Adventures. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and most of all, please share to get out the word so we can share our story with you and keep doing what we're doing. If you have an idea for an NPC, a shop, or even an encounter, please comment down below. You might be seeing any of those in the next session or maybe even the upcoming sessions. Again, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Please stay safe, everyone, and wear those seatbelts.